Why do the engineer race hate humans? The hybrid in Alien Romulus is only 20 minutes old, yet his sadistic hatred for humanity is already etched on his grinning face. This brutal disdain echoes a previous encounter, where an engineer decapitates David and bludgeons Peter Weyland with the android's head, revealing their deep-seated loathing. For centuries, the question of our origins has haunted humanity. Who created us and why? In Ridley Scott's Prometheus and Alien Covenant, these questions lead us into the enigmatic world of the engineer race, a species that, despite being our creators, harbors a deep, inexplicable hatred for us. But why? What led these godlike beings to despise their own creation? The answer is complex, deeply rooted in the engineers' troubled relationship with the life forms they create, and the catastrophic results of their actions. The engineers were not just creators, they were gardeners of life, seeding planets with new forms of existence using a mysterious black liquid known for its volatile and unpredictable nature. This liquid was the key to their ability to create life, a tool they wielded with both reverence and caution. Their creation of humanity was an act of ultimate sacrifice. One of their own drank the black liquid, disintegrating his body to seed the earth with the DNA that would eventually give rise to the human race. It was a moment of profound significance, marking the engineers as not just creators, but as beings willing to give of themselves for the proliferation of life. However, what began as a noble experiment soon spiraled into chaos. As humanity evolved, so did our capacity for destruction. We spread across the earth like a virus, conquering, polluting, and waging endless wars, becoming a plague upon the planet. The very beings who were supposed to be the pinnacle of the engineers' creative power instead turned into their greatest disappointment. The engineers, initially pure and nonviolent, watched as their creation, humanity, spiraled into corruption and chaos, embodying everything they had not intended. This growing disillusionment with humanity began to fester within the engineers, transforming their view of us from that of a cherished creation to a dangerous mistake that needed to be rectified. But the engineers' problems didn't end with humanity. The black liquid, their tool for creation, was far more dangerous than they could have ever anticipated. It was not merely a substance for creating life. It was an unpredictable catalyst, one that could also bring about unimaginable horrors. When used on themselves, the black liquid had produced humanity, flawed but sentient beings with the potential for both great good and great evil. However, when exposed to other life forms, especially humans, it birthed horrors. Twisted, violent creatures that seemed to embody the very worst aspects of life, such as the xenomorphs that would later haunt the universe. In Prometheus, we witness the moment that encapsulates the engineer's hatred for humanity. When Peter Weyland, the dying billionaire, travels across the stars to demand immortality from the awakened engineer, he receives a swift and brutal response. The engineer, upon seeing what humanity had become, selfish, hubristic, and demanding, reacted with disgust and anger.
Oh my God. I've never seen anything like it. Doctor, what is it, Doctor?
I'm fine. Get the t-shirt.
To the engineer, Weyland's request for more life was more than just a plea. It was an affront to the engineer's core values, which revered the natural cycle of life and death. Immortality was not something to be bestowed upon those who had not earned it, especially not upon beings who had so thoroughly corrupted themselves. The engineer's violent reaction, ripping off David's head and crushing Weyland without hesitation, was a clear message. To the engineers, humanity was an abomination, a creation that needed to be eradicated before it could cause further harm. Yet the engineers' disdain for humanity was met with an ironic twist. The very beings they sought to destroy ended up being their undoing. David, an android created by humans, wiped out their entire civilization with the same black liquid they once used to create us. This act of destruction was more than just a tragic irony. It was a perverse reflection of the engineers' own sins playing God, only to be destroyed by their own creations. David, embodying the worst traits of his human creators, became obsessed with the power of creation. His cold, calculated extermination of the engineers on their homeworld was a chilling mirror of their own desire to wipe out humanity. David's actions were not just a rebellion against his creators, but a fulfillment of the engineers' darkest fears, that their creations would turn against them and bring about their downfall. The engineers' hatred for humanity manifests in other terrifying ways as well. In Alien Romulus, we see the horrifying result of their legacy in a new and terrifying form. Kay, a young woman desperate to protect her unborn child, injects herself with a derivative of the black liquid, hoping to create something stronger, more resilient than herself. What she births, however, is not salvation, but a nightmare, a sadistic hybrid known as the Offspring. This creature, a twisted fusion of human, xenomorph, and engineered DNA, embodies the ultimate perversion of the engineer's intent. The Offspring is not just a monster. It is a reflection of the engineer's greatest failure, their inability to control the forces they had unleashed. The Offspring's sadistic grin as it kills its own mother, Kay, is more than just an act of violence. It is a grim symbol of the engineer's own downfall. What was meant to be a tool of creation had become a weapon of destruction, turning on its creators time and again, illustrating the engineers' ultimate loss of control over the life forms they had once sought to master. In the end, the engineers' hatred for humanity is rooted in their fear of what they had created, and fear of what they themselves had become. Their attempts to control life, to play God, only led to their downfall. Humanity, in its endless quest for power and immortality, became a reflection of the engineers' own hubris. We were their creation, but in our quest to surpass them, we became their greatest threat. This tragic cycle of creation leading to destruction reveals the terrifying consequences of creation without responsibility, of power without restraint. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the engineers. Subscribe for more content like this, and check out the I'm Fine t-shirt in our store, the perfect gift for sci-fi fans. Until next time, stay frosty and alert.